we are told, Naramansha Bhojam. The different states, so the atmosphere is dangerous. And when
so there are different stages, so the means of human being as well as animal and everything else. So the atmosphere is very dangerous. Hare Krishna.
Different states.
Hare Krishna. Welcome.
The different states, so the atmosphere is dangerous. And any awakening, any theistic awakening, we shall nurture that with all attention and care, so that it may not go down again and take me to the depth of the nescience.
So any theistic guidance, we will take care of that with very great care and attention, so that we don't again go back down into the depths of nescience, ignorance. This is Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, the middle picture. This is Srila Sridhar Maharaj speaking. When? You're going to ask, someone's going to say when. Good question. Well, 1982, the end of 1982. And speaking in Navadip, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math. So he's explaining about this life, to use this life carefully, so we don't become a tree or an animal or go into lower sections of human society also.
Naramansha Bhojam.
Man-eater, that's...
The different states, so the atmosphere is dangerous. And any awakening, any theistic awakening...
Any awakening, any theistic awakening, or now I'm coming to search for God.
Awakening, any theistic awakening, we shall nurture that with all attention and care.
We shall nurture that. Nurture, protect and feed that with all attention and care.
All attention and care, so that it may not go down again and take me to the depth of the nescience.
So that it may not go down again and take me to the depths of nescience, ignorance.
Of the nescience. Very carefully we shall try to collect and no boast that I have got so much, I have attained so much. These are...
Very carefully we shall try to collect and not boast that I have got so much, I have got this, I have got that.
Got so much, I have attained so much. These are real progress toward infinite will give this idea that I am nothing. I am in the great danger. The progress towards infinite is like that. I have got, I am above. This is all foolish statement, foolish feeling and foolish statement. The experts can at once catch it.
Sachi, you understood?
The last sentence I didn't.
Something about catch it.
Something about catch it.
No, I didn't.
No, did you catch it? Did you understand?
Yeah, no, I didn't.
That we are getting pulled down into nescience, and then...
Okay, did you understand? No, okay. I mean, I'm asking, it's not, there's anything wrong. Because the thing is, we are used to hearing Guru Maharaj, and it's very valuable. And you can, even if you don't understand what he's saying, you can hear his expression, his forcefulness and his clarity of expressing how we've come to something valuable. So I'm going to go back then, and this last short part, we'll hear it and I'll give you word by word. And then I won't go further, but we can go back to where we started, and then you can hear it all together, because we've been explaining, sentence by sentence pretty much. Okay, so now?
To collect. No boast that I have got so much, I have attained so much.
So this we already said, that we will be very careful to collect, to collect the spiritual side, and not to boast that I have got so much, I have attained so much. So this already we covered.
To collect, no boast that I have got so much, I have attained so much. These are real progress toward infinite will give this idea that I am nothing.
Real progress towards the infinite will give this idea that I am nothing. As we progress, then more we'll see, I am nothing.
Infinite will give this idea that I am nothing. I am in the great danger. The progress towards infinite is like that.
I am nothing. I am in great danger. I need protection. I need everything. I'm in great danger. I have nothing. I can again disappear into lower species. The nature of progress is like that we will feel like that.
Give this idea that I am nothing. I am in the great danger. The progress towards infinite is like that. I have got, I am above. This is all foolish statement, foolish feeling,
and to feel it and to think that I have got, that I am above, I have got. This is all foolish statement, foolish thinking. Yes, Ajay Krishna, you are above us all because you're so tall, looking down on us. Short Kali Yuga people, left over from the Treta Yuga or Dwapara Yuga when Krishna came. So we're listening to Srila Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, and just trying to make clear, because it's to make clear his words, his expression.
I am above. This is all foolish statement, foolish feeling, and foolish statement.
Foolish statement.
The experts can at once catch it.
Then said, the experts can at once catch it. Someone is boasting away. The experts, they'll say, understand, they've got nothing. But those who really are on the way, then they realize, I have nothing, I am in great danger, I need from above.
And the foolish statement, the experts can at once catch it.
Can at once catch it.
The very nature will be, oh, I am undone, I am the most helpless.
The very nature of the devotee will be, I am the most undone, I am the most undone, the most helpless.
The very nature will be, oh, I am undone, I am the most helpless. As much as he will come in the relativity of the infinite, he cannot but think himself to be the lowest and the lowest.
As much as he will come into the relativity of the infinite, he must think himself, feel himself to be the lowest of the lowest.
Of the infinite, he cannot but think himself to be the lowest and the lowest.
He cannot but think himself to be lowest of the lowest.
To be the lowest and the lowest. That is the criterion.
That is the criterion.
Like Newton.
Like Newton.
People told that you have finished the knowledge. No, I am in the touch of the ocean of knowledge.
People told to Newton, you know Newton, the laws of gravity, we learn in school, everything. Then people say to Newton, oh, you know everything. And he said, no, I'm only touching the shore of knowledge. He was aware what is out there, so much knowledge is there. Anyhow, we obviously cannot go through a whole talk, but we can go over what we just did here, because we've heard basically word by word the last 4 minutes. So 4 minutes of your 24 hours this day, we'll listen consecutively to what we've heard. And hopefully, because we did give some explanation, you can follow the Guru Maharaj's statement as well as feel his enthusiasm is not really the word. His clear waking up for the devotees to see we have to wake up to this Krishna consciousness in the proper way, and not that somebody's got, I've got this, and I am this, I am that. But anyway, let's go through it. Now I have to go back to the bookmark. Okay, it's not even 4 minutes, so you don't have to think you're wasting your time listening to this. Okay, and okay, it starts, well, before you came in, but it starts, we were here from the beginning.
There is mathematics, there is science within it.
Okay.
So we had to hear all these very light and ludicrous proposals.
Anyway, this is, then now we begin.
Must be serious. The questions, the answers, the attainment, all must be serious type.
You have to come tomorrow if you want to know what that's talking about.
In this rubbish, this adultery consideration.
Rubbish, adultery consideration. No time to lose. But actually we're going to
the sun
begin.
and the darkness.
It seems so many Westerners who attracted to Krishna consciousness.
We are not particularly attentive to Westerners, human section as a whole.
We already gone through all this.
Westerners are less qualified generally. They have not come in contact with the Vedic culture.
But the body of a Westerner seems more rajasic, more tamasic.
More tamasic, rajasic. Yes. Tamasic for their food, for their manners.
Manners.
For the behaviors.
Behavior.
Non-regulated tribe. Just as for non-regulated tribe, ordinary government cannot do. A commissioner is appointed for them.
We've gone through all this.
Non-regulated, a special officer is necessary to regulate the non-regulated provinces, districts.
It seems so difficult for such people to practice.
Yes. But Brahmanda Bhavite Kono Bhagavande, that Ajnata Sukriti. Westerners, in all births they are not Westerners, they may not be. They might have many births here also, in the Eastern. And now for some bad luck, they have been put there. Or maybe when a man by his misdeed can go to the animal and the tree section, then they will go to West or Africa, the man-eater, the animal-eater, the man-eater. There are so many sections of human beings. In Africa, we are told that man-eater. Here also India, a particular section who give sacrifice of human beings and supposed to take naramangsha. In India also there was such section, we are told, naramangsha bhoji. There is different stage, so the atmosphere is dangerous. And any awakening, any theistic awakening, we shall nurture that with all attention and care, so that it may not go down again and take me to the depth of the nescience. Very carefully we shall try to collect, and no boast that I have got so much, I have attained so much.
No boast.
These are real progress toward infinite will give this idea that I am nothing, I am in the great danger. The progress towards infinite is like that. I have got, I am above. This is all foolish statement, foolish feeling and foolish statement. The experts can at once catch it.
Experts can at once catch it.
The very nature will be, oh, I am undone, I am the most helpless. As much as he will come in the relativity of the infinite, he cannot but think himself to be the lowest and the lowest. That is the criteria. Like Newton. People told that you have finished the knowledge. No, I am in the touch of the ocean of knowledge. I know better than you, I say. I admit, because I know that it cannot be finished knowledge in infinite. So I know better than you. And you say foolishly that I have finished the knowledge.
Jai Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai. So not even 4 minutes of your morning. All right. So we've been here happily with Guru Maharaj for half an hour, and now we can chant some. One verse, Vandeham. 4 verses. Vandeham, Om Jnana Timirandasya. Then Namo Mahavaranyaya and Vanchakalpatarubhyascha. We only need chant 1, but it is good to chant these 4 to emphasize that our whole venerable section, but then emphasize Guru, Om Jnana Timirandasya, emphasize Mahaprabhu, Namo Mahavaranyaya, and emphasize the Vaishnavas, Vanchakalpatarubhyascha. So slowly together. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Rādhā Krishna Param Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitanscha Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Prarayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gora Tvije Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. All right. So, Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev-Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev-Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jai Srila Prabhupada Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. And Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai. Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Vada ki jai. So, we have a few minutes. Okay, Shri Guru Charana Padma will be traditional. But we should start with Guru. We're trying to start with Guru, and we can have somebody else make a sound and not myself make a sound. So, Prabhu, could you like to leave Shri Guru Charana Padma?
Yeah. 74.
And perhaps you need to move the camera. I don't know what you can see in the camera.
Sri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Satma
Sri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Satma Bando Mui Savadana Bando mui savarana mate. Jahara prachare vai bhavatori ajana. Krishna prapti hoy jahate. Krishna prapti hoy jahate. Padma Bhakya Chitete Koriyo Akya. Guru Mukha Padma Bhakya Chitete Koriyo Akya. Shari Kure Sava Bhakti jaha hoite apirya vinasha jate. Jai gai jahara charito. Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Aramachanara Lokanath Kera Jivana. Raghu Para Jaya, Deho More Para Jaya. Nebe Jasha Kushu Tribhuvana. Adama Loiro Charana. Mandui Para Loiro Charana. Charanila. Charanila. Abhaya Shri Pada Padme Charanila. Jaya karo he, Jaya karo he, Patithavan Shri Gurudev, Jaya karo he, Adama Patita Jene, Jaya karo he, Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Jai Shri Gaurāṅga Sundar Ji ki Jai, Shri Rādhā Giridhārījīu ki Jai. Gaurāṅga, Gaurāṅga. Okay, any question from anybody? You have me for a few minutes. If you have a question, now's your time to ask. Krishna, Krishna.
Maharaj, a similar question to what I asked Sridhar Maharaj last night, but it's actually, he was talking about the Maha Mantra, but I am wondering how, in general, we can deepen our spiritual practice. How can we go deeper into our spiritual life, increasing it?
But you asked me that question before, you asked him also, and really we have seen that to be self-policing, self-disciplined, that in whatever circumstance we're in, we give ourselves a proper start to the day and a proper end to the day, and try to fill the middle of the day remembering what we've heard. And invariably we're going to get things come up in the day which follow the guidance of Gurudev, Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada that we hear in the morning time, and of Mahaprabhu, and of Rupa Goswami, and so many references which automatically are coming through them. And sadhana is not a 4-letter word. It's got more than 4 letters in it. Sadhana, we should try to maintain that. And when the sadhana is not followed, we get all sorts of things coming up. And our sadhana has been given by Gurudev, Guru Maharaj and Srila Saraswati Thakur. And if we can be like self-disciplined to allocate our time, like we said just now, we're going to play 4 minutes of Guru Maharaj. And 4 minutes of Guru Maharaj, I mean, how strong Guru Maharaj is emphasizing. Even if we only had those 4 minutes ever recorded of Guru Maharaj, then maybe every day we play those 4 minutes and take seriously how he's saying everything there, so like acutely, so how we must focus our attention to nurture any awakening of Krishna consciousness, or of theism. He's not even saying Krishna consciousness. Any theistic awakening in us. And then, bit by bit, surely during the day we're going to then utilize, that energy coming from Guru Maharaj, that stress to us, slap ourselves again on our cheeks all the time, and make all the small decisions in the Krishna conscious way. And then what to speak of the bigger decisions. And then once it's like going from agyata sukriti to gyata sukriti. In the beginning, somehow or another, we've come to recognize something. We've come to recognize that, I should be doing service. Now in the past, some agyata sukritis come to us, which has given us some awakening of that thought, that idea. But then when we understand, I should consciously engage in service rather than by accident engage in service and wait for some more accidents to happen until I get, until I'm pure. No, but once we start consciously engaging in service activities, service-related activities, what is service? Pleasing the gurus, pleasing the pure souls, pleasing the Paramahamsas. And when we can consciously do that, then very quickly, then our journey will continue. So this will deepen our journey. But it is difficult alone. And that's why we need the fortune of the association of the devotees. And we have so much association. Guru Maharaj, Gurudev, they're telling us read the books. But in proper measure, not to sit all day reading the books and studying, with the proper way. How to read the books has been given. And the books are their words. The books are the words of Vyasadeva, of Rupa Goswami, of Jiva Goswami. The books are the words of Vishwanath Chakravarti. And in particular, without translation and interpretation, then we've got the books of Srila Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada in direct English. And Gurudev very happily told how Srila Prabhupada, he liked that title he chose for his Bhagavad-Gita. Bhagavad-Gita as it is. Because we know that we've got Bhagavad-Gita as it isn't. And this has been expressed and shown from the Vedas, for those who've got the big picture of the Vedas. This has been expressed also in the Vedas, how Shiva is asked by Vishnu to go to the material world at a particular time, to misinterpret the scriptures, but to re-establish the scriptures, which Buddha, an incarnation of Krishna, very powerful, he's told everybody forget the scriptures because they are killing animals, doing animal sacrifice, maybe human sacrifice, as we heard from Guru Maharaj this morning. But they are doing sacrifice in the name of the Vedas and misusing, taking apart and misusing. But if we see the picture as a whole, from those who are expert at seeing that picture as a whole, then they see how everything has been given as it isn't, and then now we've got as it is through Srila Prabhupada. So in English, Srila Prabhupada has given the Bhagavad-Gita, but then everyone may debate about so many things in Gita if we want to be like argumentative. But what is expressed from their heart in terms of purport and discussion, etc., we cannot debate with that because they are saying that directly. And so it's coming from them. And if we can read the book Revealed Truth by Srila Gurudev, we see the Veda flowing from Guru Maharaj's mouth. He hasn't sat down there, checking on the encyclopedias or the Googled in the modern age and collecting facts together and making an essay. He's flowing with the heart expression of guidance of spiritual life, giving us proper knowledge, Veda. And Guru Maharaj, read Loving Search for the Lost Servant. We can't put it down, it's a flow, but it's a flow of Guru Maharaj's talking, again coming from the mouth, directly in English. And the same with Srila Prabhupada. Look at the lectures, look at the talks, look at the purports. And what are the purports? Srila Prabhupada is sitting there with the dictaphone, and he's speaking that. He's also, again, not spending days to give one purport by referring to different things. And it's amazing what Srila Prabhupada knows. I mean, just the flow and how he flowed all that, if that's the right word. How he flowed all that while training people who know nothing, while cooking, while doing like all the ABC things, or even the A, the starting with the letter A in the Vedic conception, and then at the same time getting up in the middle of the night and doing the translation, flowing the translations, and all these are coming out. And some of those purports that we see in Chaitanya Charitamrita and in Srimad Bhagavatam, they are books. I mean, booklets, but you've got page after page of small writing in a purport. This is Srila Prabhupada talking into the dictaphone, flowing with these things. So here we are, we've got our real source of information, and let's not waste our limited brain, limited time, and let's not waste our freedom by getting caught up with all the dirt of this world. The dirt of the politics, the dirt of pollution, the dirt of anything, shun, any isms. We want to come to the original source, come to there, and that's been given by our masters. So, to keep ourselves doing proper conduct, and that always includes the japa, the chanting, the names of the Lord also.
Maharaj, sometimes devotees, they have more inclination towards reading, and some devotees or aspiring devotees, they don't have that automatically inclination for reading the scriptures. Can you give some advice for that?
I think when we came to the temple, we didn't have any inclination for any of the practice, including shaving our head, and shaving our head and wearing, somebody said yesterday, curtains, was it? Who said?
Bed sheets.
No, but somebody said curtains. Yesterday or the day before we were talking with somebody. No, we had no inclination for that. We had no inclination for, giving up things that we've been doing for all our lives, basically. But we need to learn what to cultivate and what not to cultivate. And the reading part also, then Guru Maharaj, he's also stressing the Srila Saraswati Thakur. He was not in favor of devotees sitting, reading. They read in the prescribed time of reading. And it's a limited time. It's not long readings that take place in the mat. They're doing the worship, they're doing the bhajans, the framework, they're doing reading. It is 20 minutes or something like this. And then they're doing seva. And they, as always stressed, seva is the important part. And so the day is putting into practice what we read. This is coming up. And that has unlimited variety, just like the material world has unlimited variety. How many houses in this street? When you walk around here, you also think what goes on in every house. But every house has got very important things to do. And they're all with personality also. Everyone's looking after the children, concerned with this, concerned with that. And there's unlimited ways of being immersed in Mahamaya. But there are more than unlimited ways, because it's the Vaikuntha realm of being immersed in Yoga Maya. So we must try to see that, yes, devotee may have inclination for this or inclination of that, but under the guidance of senior devotee, they will be engaged. And maybe I can't quote it right now, but sometimes we may have one very brainy, scholarly person, but their seva, they come to the mat. You clean the cowshed. Daily go and clean the cowshed. And by the way, Guru Maharaj, like devotees, will do go sevas, go and serve the cows. Because remember, many of the devotees in the West, they've come from the opposite, the world of eating cows. And beef, Kentucky fried, chicken, that's a chicken. Anyway, he didn't advise people to go and serve chickens, but he did advise them to go and they go and serve the cows. And maybe every devotee who came in our earlier days served in the Goshala for some time. And the cows are wonderful. You get to know what is a cow also. We don't eat dogs in the West because they got to know what is a dog. But in the scriptures, you see again about dog eaters being the worst. But more than a dog eater is a cow eater. The cow is your mother. When after taking mother's milk, is cow's milk. The bull is the father, because until very recently, the bull is who is pulling the plow, plowing the field, getting grains. And in the cities, it's amazing that today there's sufficient grains and sufficient everything for these millions of people who do nothing for creating food. They're just creating chaos. Creating something which isn't food anyway. So what we want to do, I've come to the temple, I want to do this. I like to do this, no, I'm not going to do that. That is not supported. And we can see how Srila Gurudev repeatedly says when he came to the temple, Guru Maharaj's first guidance to him, oh, you can stay in the temple. Yes, I come to stay in the temple. Can you follow me and not your mind? So everything must be regulated, and to have an overview of the devotees, what's required in devotional service, and then to follow that guidance, that will be seva. And not, oh, I'll do this, I'll do this. So we may have many inclinations, but as I say, the great scholar, he can be put to the cowshed, and to ploughing the field, and to everything, all these things. And the cowshed man may actually be a great scholar, who knows, the other way around. But in general, then any manager of an ashram or manager of devotees, they'll see the strengths of the devotees and they will utilize the devotees' strengths in service. And that's the best for the ashram, best for the general progress of the preaching. Don't forget preaching. And Srila Prabhupada, I don't have time to find it now, but I do have, and I got it bookmarked too, but I do have some very interesting purports from Srila Prabhupada. And one of them, I'll have to find it, but it's about the temples and about building the temples and everything. And then absolutely Srila Prabhupada is making, there is no use, do not build temples, don't do these temples if the Krishna consciousness is not being properly practiced in the temple. They have no use. So, but really Srila Prabhupada got a very strong commentary. And sometimes when we're reading, at the moment, we're reading at the moment Chaitanya Charitamrita, but actually we're always reading Chaitanya Charitamrita with anything else. But you find that sometimes there's a bit of a theme in Srila Prabhupada's purports, and you can understand something's happened and he's like stressing on these points. And sometimes it's other things, about the devotees in India criticizing his work, and you can understand it because he says, and there, and simply they make a lot of noise without doing anything themselves. And so you can see he's stressing things and things which have happened, and he's getting attacked from different sides. The attack means, by persons insulted from different quarters, and he addresses it in the purports. But this particular part, you can feel that, they've got some temples and they've got people who are just kind of hanging out in the temples or not pulling their weight or just finding it as a convenient way to get food and not going for the purpose, which is service. So that is there. Anyway, right now I have to go. As I said, I said 45 minutes, but I've been 54 minutes. Now I've been 56 minutes. Now I've got 3.5 minutes to go and get started. I have Zoom now. Over to you. Please continue the program happily. Jai Srila Gurudev, Jai Srila Guru Maharaj. And let us all deepen our Krishna consciousness. Hear from Guru Maharaj. It's all available. It's not my secret. I got these secret recordings of Guru Maharaj. And there are so many things, like the books when we read, that jump out at us all the time. Jai Mahaprabhu, look how glorious. Jai Shri Gaurāṅga, Sundar, beautiful Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ki Jai, and Jai Shri Giriraj, Rādhā, Giridhārījīu. Ki Jai, Jai Shri Guru Varga Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Simrandi, Hari Hari Bol. All right. So I leave you together. Be good. Chant Hare Krishna and be good. Let's return that to the woman. Maybe I'll open the door while passing by.
All right, let's sing page 125.
135?
125.
Wow. The volume.
Page 125. Akrodha Paramananda Nityananda Roy. Nityananda
132, yeah. Sorry, 132. Jai Gaura Madhur Sware, Jai Gaura Madhur Sware, Jai Gaura Madhur Sware, Jai Gaura Madhur
Right. So, Maharaj is doing a Zoom, so unfortunately you'll have to tolerate me reading English. Bhagavad-Gita, Hidden Treasure of the Sweet Absolute, by His Divine Grace, Swami B.R. Sridhar. And we stopped at the chapter 5, Karma Sannyas Yoga, the path of renunciation of action. So, Arjuna said, O Krishna, you speak of renunciation of action, and then again you speak of the path of selfless action. Therefore, please tell me clearly which is superior. The Supreme Lord said, both renunciation of action and the path of selfless action brings great benefit. Yet, of the two, know that the way of selfless action is superior. O mighty armed Arjuna, know that one who is free from attraction and aversion is truly renounced, though performing action for one who is free from duality easily attain liberation from bondage. The path of renunciation, Sankhya Yoga, and the path of selfless action, Karma Yoga, are considered separate paths by the unwise, but not by the learned. One who perfectly follows either of these paths will achieve the results of both. Is it clear so far? Okay. Okay. The state achieved by the renunciation of action is also achieved by performance of selfless action. One who sees these two paths to be one and the same actually sees. O mighty hero, without selfless action, mere renunciation of action is the cause of sorrow, but the wise man who engages in selfless action swiftly attains to the Absolute. The clean-hearted person thus engages in yoga, controls his mind and senses, becoming filled with affection and compassion to all beings. Although fully active, he is never implicated by any action. The realized karma yogi performs the activities of seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving, sleeping, breathing, speaking, evacuating, grasping objects, blinking the eyes, and so on, and he understands my sense organs, eyes, ears, skin, nose, and tongue, function in relation to their respective objects of form, sound, touch, smell, and taste. Thus he considers, I do not perform any actions at all. One who, through living in the world, selflessly offers all his actions to the Supreme Lord is not polluted by sin. As a lotus leaf remains on the water, yet is untouched by it. By giving up attachments, the karma yogis perform action merely through the body, mind, intelligence, and even the senses for self-purification. Giving up attachments to the fruits of his actions, the materially unmotivated karma yogi attains constant peace or liberation from actions and reactions. But the fruitive worker is attached to the fruits of his actions, and he becomes implicated by his endeavors. Mentally renouncing all actions, the sense-controlled, embodied living being resides happily within the city of the 9 gates, which is the body, neither acting nor causing work for others. The Lord does not generate anyone's ego of considering themselves the doer, nor their actions, nor their association with the fruits of their actions. These are all a result of their external nature or of ignorance since time immemorial. So it's interesting that by considering oneself a doer, one gets the reaction for all the actions he does. So if I, in other words, if I do something for self, for myself, Krishna, welcome, then I'm bound by the result or the reaction. So karma is a natural. Karma is the law which bounds all living entities, and when one commits action not for the God, not for the Lord, but for self, then he's bound with the reaction of that action. The Supreme Lord accepts neither the sin nor the piety of anyone. The living beings fall into illusion because their knowledge is covered by ignorance. For persons whose divine knowledge has awakened, their ignorance is destroyed and their wisdom, like the shining sun, reveals the supreme reality. This is a very, very interesting point that so the world we see around us, it appears in such a way because we have a certain sense of self. So we acquired a certain sense of self or certain ego, and then as a side effect of that ego, we start to see world in a certain way. For example, if I'm a man, of a certain age, of a certain qualities, then that what I would notice I would notice certain things. If I would be a parrot, then the reality will be completely different for me. So acquired sense of self and acquired instrument, it shapes how we see the reality, where in actual reality we're all consciousness, we're all souls, yet in the secondary creation, visarga, we all acquire different instruments of perception and different qualities, and that results as that makes us reside in the completely different universes, yet similar, yet very different.
How can we get rid of those prejudices?
The Maharaj was saying that on all questions starting with how, there's one answer is sadhu sangha. Through practicing devotional service, one can overcome the pull of the bodily or mental self-identification and self-realize oneself as a soul. Because if we consider ourselves humans, we would be acting as humans in the interest of the body, of the mind, of our secondary nature. But once one realizes its divine nature, of nature as a consciousness, then one starts to cultivate that what is favorable, not for the body and mind and senses, but for the soul, or for me as an observer.
We also we don't see the world as it is, but we see the world as we are.
Yeah.
So as we are, in that way we see the world.
Yeah.
And then by the association of the pure sadhus, we get information about the faculties, the consciousness, what is in us, and how we can differentiate and how we can see ourselves. And then we go actually like renouncing by the senses, we accommodate internally. And then that is actually a spiritual journey, that instead of all the time completely captivated by the senses and the mind outside ourselves. We go inside by the teachings of Krishna Consciousness and by the association of the sadhu, how to refine inside ourselves, because we know so many things bubbling up, like anger and greed and lust and envy. How to control that? That is the very important path for eternity, because that what we do now and overcome, that is for our eternal credit of the soul. Consciousness is with the soul, and we are the soul.
That's an interesting point, that we all, like if you look back, sometime in the past, we remember like we became conscious, like being a children, running around, like thinking, oh, I must be boy or girl or this or that. And so we kind of grow, and then we are prescribed with a certain duty, be it a duty at school or going to work or having children, family. So there's a certain duty, we're bound by certain duty and certain responsibilities. And then what Krishna says is that karma yogi is the one who performs the duty selflessly without being attached to the results of his actions. So he presents the method of adhering to the duty as a method of freeing oneself from falsely acquired understanding of self. So, in other words, if you are selflessly adhering to the duty, that would lead to your further and deeper understanding of real self. So that social role which you are playing in the, be it a father, mother, worker, or whatever in the world, this is not really you, but this is a socially constructed external side of you. And then by adhering to that duty selflessly, karma yoga, you will get a deeper realization of yourself, and that realization is constant and ongoing, and then because most of the people they don't really look deep within and don't ask themselves who they are. They are so much preoccupied with the external arrangement and with external things that there's literally no time for them to even look within and question, who am I, why I'm here, and what is the purpose of my life? Because that external purpose, which we are bombarded with, it's so constant and so completely covering us that sometimes it's just difficult to see within. But through selfless action, through karma yoga, one can realize the nature of self as a conscious being, rather than a man or woman or all these external things.
Would you say there's like a fine line between performing one's duty well, consciously, but simultaneously being aware of the higher purpose, the deeper self?
Yeah, so one is doing it for self-aggrandizement or for the result which one can acquire by doing it well, and another one is doing it as a form of service because it was arranged by the Lord. So so that happened that in this life, the Lord put me in circumstances where I'm presented with a certain duty. So I'm treating it not as a means for self-aggrandizement or not for achievement of worldly ambitions, but rather as a method of freeing myself from a falsely acquired understanding of who am I. So same thing, duty, but materialistic person, he would be using that duty to become more deeply rooted in the soil of this world. Yet another person would be using exactly the same duty, but as a means from freeing self from clutches of this world, so to say. And yet externally, both paths would look exactly the same. You wouldn't see the difference, because the motive is that what differs, separates one from another. One is dancing because he's happy, and another person is dancing because he's going to earn money from that. How would you say who is doing it how? It's not possible. The motive, that's what counts. And so here is what Krishna is speaking about. He prescribes of adjustment of the motive for one's action. So don't act for self-aggrandizement. Don't try to achieve any ambition, material ambition in this world. Yet use the prescribed duty to you as a means of freeing yourself from attachments of this world. First by karma yoga, by acting selflessly as a I would say, I mean, parents know that very well. Like you don't expect anything from your children. Yeah, you're unconditional. You're doing it because that's your duty. And so.
Can you actually say that what you say, the person who acts according for self-establishment in the material world and aggrandizement, and the person who follows the path of karma yoga, that one who follows the path of karma yoga has already established faith in his life. Faith means like the company of the Lord, actually, right?
But karma yoga is not necessarily like a. Some people can practice karma yoga without having presence of God in their life. So some people are pious in the sense that they just feel like it's a good thing to do good, and they can be going to Africa, helping children, saving gorillas, saving giraffes. So they're just doing good thing without expecting anything in return. And so that, like what you call it, the desire to act selflessly, it's kind of liberating you from this world as well. Actually, like the practice of karma yoga leads you to the liberation, like a Sayujya Mukti path. And it's not what Buddhists refer to as nirvana. So karma yoga can lead up to that. It's a mechanical process. So in the sense, if you are selflessly acting, you are freeing yourself from the results, be it good or bad. Good results, enjoyment; bad results, suffering. So by acting selflessly, by adhering to the duty, you free yourself from these reactions. But then it doesn't necessarily lead you to faith.
So when does faith comes in then?
Faith. For that you need a mercy of someone who has it, so to say. Because they call it as a seed. The seed, if you have a good garden, if you have good soil, someone has to plant a seed in your heart, and then that seed can grow into something big. But on our path, on our side, we have to cultivate the soil. So that means to make the soil good for planting, for gardening. If you work on yourself, if you prepare your heart for proper gardening, then if the seed ends up there, it will grow. But if your soil is hard and uncultivated, then even if the most high quality seed gets there, it won't grow. So on our behalf, we can't really get that, because it's not our property, that or what we call it as a faith or devotion. But what we can do is we can prepare our own heart for that. And in Shastra there's a very beautiful example saying that the heart of a person who is ready for it is like a flower which is blooming. It opens and it is so fragrant, and when that happens, the bee will definitely will fly and sit. And in the same way, if our heart is ready for faith, if our heart is ready for a devotion, then the agent of that plane, he will somehow connect with it. And so. Yeah.
How can we understand what our duty is?
Oh, it's very easy. You look around, because those who are around you, they will be constantly reminding you about it. When for a parent, it's a crying child. For a worker, it's probably angry employer, deadlines. In the devotees who live in temple, they kind of narrow it down to a certain, like, puja, cooking. But then for someone who works, it's also fairly clear. For Arjuna, it's a battlefield. He has to fight with a sword. For someone who's a doctor, you have to heal your patient. It's very fairly evident, and again, it's not about what form of duty that is, but it's about how I approach it, how I utilize it. Either I use it for gain and for material self-aggrandizement and attainment, or I use it as a temporary arrangement because the Lord put me in this place. So I'm not becoming attached to the form of duty, rather I want to do my duty disregarding of this form or that form. I want to serve the Lord and devotees, and whichever duty is presented to me, it can be raising a child, it can be healing a patient, it can be building something, selling properties, or taking photos. Doesn't matter. Form can vary. And
Srila Guru Maharaj says so beautifully, like, utilize everything. Everything can be utilized in the same. So whatever our situation is, condition.
It's adjustment of the motive. It's that subtle change. In the beginning of Bhagavad-Gita, Arjuna, he really struggles with the fact that he has to kill all his relatives. Yeah, it's quite a situation, right? But through discussion, by speaking with Krishna, he adjusts his motive. He understands that it's not just as simple as that. It's about duty, and it's about selflessly adhering to the duty. And so it happens so that he is a warrior, and his duty is to protect dharma and protect justice. And in this particular scenario, to do that, he has to kill 500,000 people. All right. But maybe for us it's a bit easier. We don't have such a complicated choice. But Kurukshetra means the field. So in his sense, it's a field, battlefield. But in each hour's life, we have a battlefield. For some, it's in work, in the kitchen, in the hospital, anywhere. Everyone is a doer in some field, and that is their battlefield. And there they can adhere to their duties, and by doing it so selflessly, they can acquire a deeper understanding of self, a deeper understanding of nature of self. Because this is a temporary arrangement. The married life, or children, grandchildren. This is like a stages of life which are coming and going, passing stages. But then behind all that, there is some part of me which is not changing, eternal. So dharma or duty, there's an external duty which is prescribed to me, which the environment suggests me what I need to do, and there's also duty of the heart or the duty of the soul. And at this point, maybe it's not so evident because we are too distracted with external things. But through selflessly adhering to the external duty, we will get a glimpse or experience of our heart. And then our heart also has some duty. And that is service to the Lord and faith and such a subtle things which sometimes is not very evident. And so by seriously adhering to the external duty, we will be able to hear our heart. Not our mind, not our intellect, but the core of ourselves.
Well, Srila Govinda Maharaj says also with the soul is thinking, feeling and willing. So this is more subjective inside ourselves. So we have the environment in which we do the duties, but inside ourselves is another battle going on in a more subtle way, and how we can, what Gurudev also said, promote ourselves from emotion, because there's so many emotions, and emotions come from the senses and from the mind, and how to understand that we have a higher faculty in ourselves, that is consciousness, and with that consciousness of connecting with the Lord, with faith, then say the perspective that we have with our work and our karma yoga, be it karma yoga or jnana yoga, that then it comes in a reality what is much more subtle than the gross confrontation we have with emotions, with the environment. So by going deeper inside ourselves on the soul level, then and the connection with the Lord, with the Supreme Lord Krishna, then actually that is the only way in which we can become humbly aware that unless we get a connection with a higher source, with the Lord, then we can actually more beneficial deal with the emotions and the feelings and the thinking what we have in our...
It'll kind of harmonize.
Yes, harmonizing.
But actually the selfless action, it inevitably leads to wisdom. So let's put it this way: the person who acts selflessly, he becomes detached. If the person is detached, he is able to see things for what they are. So by being able to see things for what they are, you become like unbiased. You just see things, what is there, without having some motive. Because if we are motivated in some way, we see it kind of concocts what we see. Like the person who has some selfish desire, his capacity to see things is kind of concocted in that way. But by becoming selfless and by not having a particular wanting from something, then we would be able to see things what they are.
And see that ultimately it's by the will of the Lord that things happen, isn't it?
Yeah, well, otherwise we wouldn't even come across this idea. I mean, imagine some people, they never had a chance to hear about anything about God, about any practice, devotional, nothing. Just so busy with results of their previous actions.
And that is when faith comes in, right?
Yeah. Like the arrangement, like the body we have, the mind we possess, the tools we have, and the circumstances through which we go, all that is result of our previous activities. So let's say before I was born in this lifetime, I had some existence. I don't remember about it now because all my memory was wiped, for good or for bad. I don't remember, but what I can see is that there is some arrangement from my childhood. I mean, like this happens, this happens, this happens. I was born in this family, in that place. And so there is some complicated system which puts me in the certain circumstances which I have to go through. And then someone is born in Africa in a very poor family and dies in the age of 5 because of lack of water. And someone is born in Highgate in a family of very wealthy person. So there must be a system in place which puts people in a certain circumstances. And what I witness now, I possess certain capacity of understanding certain body health problems or something, doesn't matter. But all that is not random. It's not just for no reason. So my present is the result of my past and the cause of my future. So by acting selflessly in the now, in present, in a way I burn the reactions from the previous actions, and I don't create new reactions for the future. So in that sense, it's very purificatory. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Is it the time? Okay.
Jai.
Srila Maharaj. Jai. Yeah, so adhere to your duties selflessly, and it would bring something good. Okay.
Hello. Hare Krishna. Bhaja Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Bhaja Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda.
Gopi Parana Dana Madana Manohara Gopi Parana Kaliya Damana Bidana Kaliya Damana Bolo Amala Harina Mamiya Vilasha Amala Harina Mamiya Vilasha Amala Harina Mamiya Vilasha Amala Harina Mamiya Vilasha Avipina Purandara Navina Nagara Bara Janshirada Suvasa Avipina Purandara Navina Nagara Bara Jajana Palana Sadulana Shana Jajana Palana Sadulana Ananda Gotana Rakoyala Ananda Gotana Volo Govita Madhava Avanita Daskara Govita Madhava Avanita Daskara Sundarananda Gopala Sundarananda Yamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasanara Yamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasanara Sarasita Dipangola Sarasita Dipangola Valla Sri Rādhā Vallabha Vrindavana Natavara Sri Rādhā Bhagavati Vinodaya Saya Bhagavati Vinodaya Valla Sri Rādhā Vallabha Vrindavana Natavara Sri Rādhā Vallabha Vrindavana Sri Rādhā Vallabha Vrindavana Natavara Sri Rādhā Vallabha Bhagavati Vinodaya Saya Bhagavati Vinodaya Bhagavati Vinodaya Saya Bhagavati Vinodaya Valla Jai Sachidananda Suramuni Vandana Bhavabhaya Kandana Jayo Jai Sachidananda Suramuni Vandana Bhavabhaya Jaya Hari Kirtana Nartana Martana Jaya Hari Kirtana Nartana Akali Malakartana Jayo Akali Malakartana Anayana Purandara Visarupasneyadara Visambara Visneyatal Nayana Purandara Visarupasneyadara Visambara Visneyatal Jai Lakshmi Vishnu Priya Visambara Priya Jai Lakshmi Vishnu Priya Visambara Priya Jai Priya Kintara Isana Jai Priya Kintara Isana Asli Sita Gaita Jai Kalina Srivasa Jai Jai Chanda Sekara Chaya Asli Sita Gaita Jai Kalina Srivasa Jai Nityananda Roy Patadhara Jai Jai Nityananda Roy Patadhara Giridhārījīu Jai. Sundar Ji Jai. Jai Sridhar ārati ki Jai. Chaitanya Saraswati Maharaj Acharya Bhaktavinda ki Jai. Paramahansa Parivarikacharya Varyasvatara Satasi Srila Bhakti Dev-Goswami Maharaj Jai. Jai Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivarikacharya Varyasvatara Satasi Srimad Bhagavad-Gita Srila Dev-Goswami Maharaj Jai. Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivarikacharya Varyasvatara Satasi Srimad Bhagavad-Gita Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Jai. Jai Vishnupada Srila Gaurāṅga Maharaj ki Jai. Vishnupada Srila Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupada Srila Jagannath Gaurāṅga Maharaj ki Jai. Gaurāṅga Guruvar ki Jai. Ramacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Jai Upasanatam Pata Raghunath ki Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Sat Goswami Prabhu ki Jai. Srimad Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Damodar Banandarai ki Jai. Jai Vishwavaranyam Vishnupada Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Srila Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda ki Jai. Jai Govardhan Shema Kunda Rakunda Kalindi Jamuna Ji ki Jai. Srimati Ganga Jamaji ki Jai. Srimati Tulasi Maharani ki Jai. Srimati Kunda ki Jai. Sridhar Maharaj ki Jai. Sri Vajamandali ki Jai. Sritam Chetudam ki Jai. Bhakti Jagannath ki Jai. Bhakti Vignoina Sayati Simhadev ki Jai. Bhakta Paravarati Prahlad Maharaj ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavatam Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai. Navadvip Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math ki Jai. London Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math ki Jai. Nitya Vaishnavin Sadija Vaishnavinda ki Jai. Samayata Vaishnava Mandali ki Jai. Kolkatar ki Jai. Aaj Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai.